What can I say? It's a little bit gutting, not gonna lie, being in a situation, but it is what it is. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Ram Stand. It's your boy Rams. You've seen me on multiple platforms, Saint, Copish, the Football Terrace, but now it's time for me to do my own little thing as well. So here it is. I wish we could meet each other in better circumstances. I know it sounds like a little bit of a broken relationship, but it's just those feelings right now. Had time to let this simmer, being so close to actually achieving what we're going to achieve, but it is what it is. But firstly, I got to get the housekeeping done. So everyone, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and get this shared on the socials, man. Get this thing out there, and let people know about the Ram Stand. But yeah, what can I say? 2-0 up, Aston Villa, and we were drawing 1-1. And then hearing the news that it was 2-2 in the next 3 minutes, killer. Absolute killer. And it's tough. It's tough to see it. It is tough. And what can we do? We can only focus on what's going to happen next, and which is the Champions League final. Bearer of bad news. Thiago is also injured at the same time, which doesn't look good for our chances against the likes of Modric and Kroos, but we've been in a lot worse circumstances and we've gotten through this, so I believe in this team. But firstly, I want to shout out my boy Gems. What are you saying, Gem? I know you're going to be a little bit happy that we've lost the title, but big yourself up either way. And firstly, let's get some good news out there. Let's get some good news out here right now. This man, Fabio Carvalho, has signed for Liverpool Football Club. Now, I know it's not the most exciting piece of news. I know it's, is not. We wanted better. If it was Orion Chouameni, it would be a lot more optimistic. But we still signed a very, very good prospect. I've seen the guy play for Fulham. He looks a proper talent, and hopefully we can continue this vein of form of just getting these good young players to come in and let them hit the ground running and provide adequate backup, not only for now, but they can grow and mature to become incredible players. So that's one thing to be optimistic about today, but we have to talk about the game. Not the best of starts. We went down 1-0 in 2 minutes, down to a very sloppy piece of defending by Ibrahima Konate. And we paid the price. Pedro Neto got onto the ball and smashed it into the net. That's what Pedro Neto does. But we pulled it together. We got our heads back into places and we started creating chances. That's the only thing he can do. And Thiago, that game, Thiago was Thiago, innit? Thiago is something else. He is something else. Like, the way he moves the ball, he passes the ball is just fantastic. And that assist to Mane, I mean, wow. The innovation and the ingenuity of this guy. And obviously, credit to Mane. The finish there was top notch. But there's always a little bit of a but. That period, in the second half, we did not score a goal to put the pressure on City. Now, people haven't really talked about it that much. I'll big up my boy Saint because we talked about it a little bit last night. We didn't score a goal to put the pressure on City. If I'm not saying it was going to happen, but if we did, it would have been a different story. It may have been they could have got a comeback and we say fair play. But you cannot negate the opportunity and the likeliness that City could crumble after hearing that Liverpool just got in front. So we didn't take our chances. We didn't do what we were expected to do, and for that we paid the price. We paid the price, and look, we've got stuff to do as ourselves. We've got a Champions League to get to. We've got Real Madrid, who's not gonna be easy, not in the slightest of all easy. But in order to make this season an incredible season, we win the Champions League. 3 trophies. Not many teams can say that they've witnessed their team win 3 trophies. Liverpool winning 3 trophies will be the second time in my lifetime that they've done it. Third in history, including 1984. So, boys, just get the job done. Get the job done. Literally. You know, I know the odds are against us, but if there's anyone that can do it, it's us. It's us. I know Fab is not fully fit. I know Thiago is not going to be fit, but we still got the quality enough to beat Real Madrid. And that's what we should be thinking about right now. Going back to the Wolves game, a couple of things sprung to mind, and I've been seeing this a lot on the socials. Many people have been saying the reason why we've lost the league is because we've dropped points against Brentford, Brighton, to name a few. There is a case for that to happen, but I think people are also missing a big thing. Liverpool Football Club did not beat a single team in the top 4. We didn't beat Chelsea, we didn't beat Man City, and we did not beat Tottenham. Let's cast your minds back to 2018-19. 2018-19 is when we lost the league by 1 point again, but we didn't do what was required, which was beat Manchester City. The season after, we went to Anfield, gave them a 3-piece at Anfield, and we won. And what happened? We ended up winning the league. Now, I'm not saying that if we had beaten Tottenham or Chelsea, we would have, mathematically, we would have won the league. But I think people need to get that into their heads that against the big teams, we haven't beaten them. We've only drawn or either lost in these races. And to win a league title, you need to have consistency, not only against the smaller teams, but also against the big teams. You need to have shown up against the big teams, and we haven't done that. We haven't done that at all. You could say injuries against Tottenham and City. I mean, Trent didn't play, but the quality of squad that we have and the club that of our stature, that shouldn't matter. We should have at least beaten Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, where we were winning 2-0. We were winning 2-0, and we ended up losing in the end. So it is what it is. We have to move on. We have to push on, and we just have to do what we do best, which is win football matches. We have to win against Real Madrid. It's as simple as that. And whether we're going to do it is going to be another thing. But yeah, we'll get to that at some point. But firstly, I need to get to player ratings. Now, first player I've got to go to is Alisson Becker. Now, I've sung his praises this season. Ali's my guy. I've been saying player of the season, my player of the season, Alisson Becker, but not many people were keen on that opinion. They were like, nah, he's a goalkeeper. You have to go for Salah. He's won us games individually. I'm like, nah. It's Alisson. Ali is the only guy that I know that is dominant in the world that is as dominant in 1v1s. His 1v1 goalkeeping is as comparable to Manuel Neuer back in the day. I'm going to say it there right now. I'll say it right here. Manuel Neuer back in the day. people need to put more respect on Mr. Alisson Becker, because not only is a class goalkeeper, his distribution, his goalkeeping skills, as a positioning wise, handling, reflexes, everything is he's one of a kind, man. He's one of a kind, and people will go look back on his career and be like, this guy could be a keeper. This guy could be in the conversation of Premier League greats. If he wins a World Cup, people have serious conversations about this guy. I'm talking serious conversations. I'm talking greatest goalkeeper of all time, winning a Champions League, a Premier League, a Copa America, and a World Cup. And apparently that's the standard for these days now. It's the standard. If you want to be part of the greats, you have to win all the trophies. That is the standard for modern day football fans. If he wins the whole set, he wins the whole set. He is one of the greatest goalkeepers to go down in history. Alisson Becker has had an amazing season. My player of the season, I'll give him a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for this game. Trent. Now, Trent, people are not going to like this, but Trent today, not today, yesterday was meaty. Very meaty. He let the emotions of the game get to him. Defensively, he wasn't that good. Offensively, he wasn't even that great either. And personally, for me, I think he wasn't good enough on the day. So I think for me, he gets a 5. No, not 5. Sorry, 6.5 out of 10. He had good moments, good shots, but Trent, the normal Trent, would have done a lot better that game. And he has had a great season himself. So I give fair play to him, man. Fair play to him. So 6.5 for him. Robbo, I think it was just about better. Defensively, he was better. He got the goal. But my God, man. My God, I wish he could just shoot. Shoot properly. Have the ability to actually shoot from long range. But he don't have that capability. Took his goal well. I'll give him that. Defended well. I think he had a solid... I think I'll give him an 8. I think he had a really, really solid game. And hopefully next season, Klopp can rest him a lot more, because my God, this guy's been running to the ground. Playing for Scotland and playing for Liverpool consecutively. This guy's been run to the ground. Absolutely run to the ground. So I give him an 8. Now I want to do the centre-backs joint because I think they deserve the same rating as each other. I'd give them a 6. Kanate was at fault for the first goal. Misjudged the header. I'll say if it was Van Dijk, that's bread and butter for him. Easy header out of the ball. Matip, he wasn't even that great either. He was playing them on at times. Whenever Ibu pushed up, he never pushed up himself. The line was a little bit shaky. That's why I'm saying we're judging the defenders as a collective. And for me, they both get a 6 out of 10. It wasn't a really solid performance from both of them. Nothing like what it was at Southampton. Now, second player. I need to talk about this man because this guy's been incredibly disrespected by many rival fans. And that is Mr. Jordan Bryan Henderson. Personally, for me, he was man of the match. My man of the match. The way he reads the game, interceptions, his tackling, everything is just... He's just so solid. And his passing range is actually underrated. I really do think this is his new position. Number 6. Playing as a backup number 6. And us getting a new midfielder in will do us the world of good. Because we haven't got adequate replacement for Fabinho. But having Jordan being there as adequate replacement as a solid number 6 is great. It's great. We can take Fabinho off and bring on Hendo. Whenever we have to play a game that's after a Champions League game, put Hendo in. He deserves to play. He's been solid for us last season. So for me, Henderson deserves the praises that he get for number 6. I think he was man of the match for me. I'll go for a 9. Thiago, obviously, before he got injured, was absolutely sensational. Sensational. I've never seen a player who could dictate the game, but also have that little bit of flair just to go past players and just play that intricate ball. The last player I've probably seen that is probably Iniesta. And he was meant to be the heir to Iniesta at Barcelona. So for me, Thiago, if he had played the full 90 minutes, I would have given him a 9.5. He would have been man of the match. But because he didn't, I have to give him an 8. Because he didn't see out the game. If he see out the game, fair play, man of the match. But for me, he needed to have to play that game. That's my opinion. Now, next player, Keita. This is a big talking point, Naby Keita. If you're going off this season alone, he hasn't been injured the entire season. No major injuries. But Naby at times can be absolutely unplayable. But on the other hand, he can be absolutely dog crap. Like he's had games where he dominate midfields, play intricate little balls, there's little intricate little dribbles into the box, those shots from outside the area. But sometimes he could just ghost in a game. All of his passes could just not be accurate, and him getting caught out in defensive transitions. For me, and this was the game today. This was a showing of the bad Naby that we see in the season. I've got to say, I give Naby a 4. 4 for Naby. He was not good that game at all. And for me, if we're talking about contracts, if we can get good money, i.e. 20, I know we play 50, but if we could get a good money for him, I wouldn't be surprised if he left, because just his performances have just not been consistent enough, and that's not what we need for a team that wants to go on and challenge for Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, FA Cup, League Cups, all challenge on all fronts. We need everyone on their game, and for me, they want that. Not for me. Now, next player's got to be the main man, Sadio Mane. A new man. He's a new guy. The new Mane, new main. Since he turned into that striker, his performances have changed dramatically. The guy, his eye for a goal is a lot better, and his movement off the ball is so much better. No longer he doesn't have to go down that byline and try and take man on. He can just go past man through his good movement that he's shown this season. For example, Man City at home, that little bit of movement going from wide to the centre, playing the ball in towards Salah and getting the goal. Stuff like that. If I am not fussed if we see Mane up front next season, because this season he deserves every bit of credit that he gets, especially in the second half. Many people calling him to get sold, saying he was finished. But boy, he proved us all wrong. Boy, he turned the doubters wrong. Proved them doubters that they didn't know anything about football, didn't know anything about the Mane that everyone knows. Massive credit to him. And for me, he gets an 8.5. He gets an 8.5 alongside Hendo, man. I think he was great. Diogo Jota, I don't want to be too much because I really love Diogo, but he deserves a 7. No, 6.5 as well. He's not really in the game. Link-up play wasn't that great. Passing was off. It's just not good enough for Diogo. Not at all. I'll give him a 6. And finally, Luis Diaz, Mr. Colombiano. It's a weird one because whenever he did get the ball, he was charging at players, very dominant, very aggressive. But then there was a time where you're thinking none of the stuff he's doing is working. And we're at that point where next season, stuff like showboating, doing those little tricks and little movements, you need to bring output to the table and you need to do it. You need to show that you're not more than a skill merchant, more than a guy that just loves good, that is good at dribbling. You need to be able to show that you're a good goal scorer. And he has shown it. He has got a couple of very important goals. But if you want to be in this Liverpool team, you need to be consistent. And if you're going to give a rating for yesterday, I'll still give him a 7, a decent 7. He still had a decent game when he was on the ball. But next season, you need to have the output. You need to show that you can get goals or get assists. And that's what he needs. That's what he needs, obviously. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it for the players. I'll go into the subs real quick. Bobby Firmino, I don't want to be rude to the guy, but that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. It's Jekyll and Hyde compared to Southampton. Southampton, he was absolutely immense, but today, the passes that he was doing was so off. Like it was link-up play was poor. I give him a 4. I give him a 4 with Naby. He was just not good today. Not good in the slightest. Mo got the goal, but again, didn't really do much the whole game. Didn't really do much, and I think for me, a 6. A 6. At least he got the goal. At least he was there to get the goal. And to be fair, the goal wasn't even that great. So it is what it is. And finally, the last player to come on the first player to come on actually was Millie for Jota. And I think Millie was decent. Millie was decent this game. Very decent. He was solid, getting into tackles. Distribution was decent. I give him a 7.5. I give him a 7.5. Millie was a good backup, but there's always going to be a but. We cannot rely on bringing on James Milner in these type of games. The guy is 36 years old. We need our other players to be stepping up. We need to bring in more players that can be more impactful in these games. Maybe the signing of Carvalho can do that, but we need to bring in more players that can be more impactful. Carvalho is not enough. Carvalho is also a kid himself. We need players that have experience. Tchouaméni is a good example. Frenkie, even if I know he's expensive. Tonali, Basuma, Conrad Lima. These players, we just need these type of players just to come in because we can't rely on a 36 James Milner to get us through games. We can't. We really can't. But guys, it's a short stream, a short one. But there's more to come from this. There's more to come. But I've got to have to bathe in my sorrows. You know what I mean? It's going to be a very, very tough couple of weeks for me. Oh, not a week. A couple of weeks until we get to the Champions League final where we hopefully can get the result. But yeah, that's it, folks. That's it, everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you next week, or maybe I'll do a couple of streams this week about Liverpool and their squad. But take care, and I'll see you guys later.